Hi, my name is Jeff Walker. I am with Lock Connection. Today I want to show you all the hardware that goes into a flag like this. They're also called shadow boxes. A lot of people make these. There's a lot of different hardware in here, and I'm just going to show you. First thing we have is an RFID lock. You can either use an RFID card like this. You can also use a fob like this to open it. You put it where the lock is. Of course, I already know where it is. And so this is the RFID lock. This one is the SDWS, and we'll put links in our bio with all this information on it. But it's completely invisible. When you scan it, it's going to open. 5 seconds later, it closes automatically. You can also change the mode, so you scan it, it opens, it stays open, and then when you scan it again, it closes. It does have a low voltage alarm. It'll start beeping differently when the batteries are low. When it goes below 2.7 volts, it will open and stay open. So it will not be locked any longer. You can't be locked out of it. You can add up to 50 cards. You can also use fobs. You can do anything to program to the lock. You can use different things. Some people use wristbands. Just know when you go from this to this, the antenna in this is much smaller than what is in this. These will still read through 1-inch thick wood, but if you start using wood thicker than that, you may have some issues with smaller objects like rings and things like that. Next thing I'll show you is I'll show you the LED light here. So this is an LED-310 dash recharge. So this is rechargeable light. You can turn it on and off. It uses a magnetic base here to connect it to. So once you mount that magnetic base, you just put that up there. This light is based on, it should come on anytime that there's movement, even in the daylight. So it will always come on and off. We make these without any PIR function in them. So it's only works on sensing movement. It'll come on with any movement. It has nothing to do with the darkness or how bright it is. It will just always come on. We do have some that only come on in the dark times, but since everything is concealed, it's always going to be off, and it doesn't see movement until you open the flag or shadow box. We also have two different magnets. So we have, this is the LC-R2-25-2. So this comes 2 in a pack, just like this right here. They're 25-pound rated. They do have double-sided tape on the back of it that you can put on there, and it comes with 2 screws to also help mount it. This one I did not put any tape on. It's only the screw. This one I put tape on and the screw, so it's much more secure like that. They're easily hold any type of a handgun, anything like that. You can put 2 side by side if you wanted to have it help hold the weapon better. And then we have our LC-A25. This one's actually 35 pounds rated. So this one's a little bit longer. It does have 2 magnets side by side. And it does stick out a little bit further than this one. This one's only about a 1/2 inch. This one's about 3/4 of an inch thick. And most shadow boxes that are like 3 inches, 3.5 inches, that never matters. You have more than enough room to put a firearm on there, and it's not going to stick out past to where the lid closes. So both those magnets are excellent choices. We also have a 43-pound magnet, and it's just a big bar. I'm not showing that here, but that one is also used a lot. Next thing I'll show you are the hinges. So this specific hinge, this whole setup is a full overlay setup. So this lid, when it's open and closed, is fully over top of the box. So you can see here, these are, we call them frog hinges, but they're 90-degree concealment hinges. This is the CH-90 degree, and you get 2 per pack. Now, this flag is almost 4 feet long. I probably don't need so many of these here, but I was testing different shocks on this specific one, so I wanted to make sure it didn't move at all. I would probably only really need 4 of these going the whole way across, one each there. So I could get rid of 2 of them. You can also use this type of a hinge. This is a just non-soft close Euro style hinge. This one's a full overlay. You do have to have a 35 millimeter bore tool to cut out and have that pocket hole for it. A lot of people use these instead of that style hinge. Either one does the same trick. They're both going to work the same. This one actually helps hold it open a little better, just the way it's inherently made. This one does not hold it open as much. But either style hinge can work. Some people don't like drilling a hole, or they don't want to drill a hole, so you can use these. Otherwise, you can use these and drill a hole. I would still use four on this application because it's so long. Next thing we have are the shocks or struts. Those are the 2 terms people call them. I like to mount mine like this. So I come in 3 inches from the side right here. 3 inches. So what that does, it gives me a lot of space. So when this flag's open, I can reach in and I'm not hitting the shock. It's not in the way of anything. If I want to reach in here, I can get it. The best way to mount a shock would be here and actually mount it here. That's how you really want to push it open. But because I don't want to take up all that space, I don't want to have something like this and then I'm interfering me reaching in through the side. I mount them like this. But when you do that, you have to add higher Newton shocks to get it to push it open. And I'll show you how it opens here in a second. These are actually 250 Newton shocks. I could also get away with 200 Newton shocks, but 250 work very well. And I'm going to show you how it operates right here. I'm not going to shut it the whole way, but when I start opening it, I get to maybe about 7 inches, and it just takes over and lifts it up, and it'll hold it there. Actually, it's been in this position for a couple months. So you always want to have the shocks pointed down. When it's in the closed position, you want the shaft pointed down, and what that does, it helps the fluid on the inside. There's little fluid in there. It will keep the seals nice and lubricated. Otherwise, if you have it the other way, the seals will eventually start to go bad faster. So that's those ones. Also talk about the Kaizen foam here. We have some different thicknesses. We have the 1.1 and we have 2 1/4. This is 2 1/4. You can see how thick it is. I just did some general cuts out of some stuff. These are just little blocks and stuff, but you can cut out something. When you cut something out, you want to undercut it, so when you put it in, it's a tight fit going into it. And when I put something in here, believe me, I could go like this and it's not going to fall out. So this is used a lot of what a lot of people do. These come in 2 foot by 4 foot pieces. So what people do, if it's not too long, they would take one piece, they would cut it out, and it would sit tight in here. You don't have to put any adhesive or anything on the back because it would sit in there really tight. You can put some spray adhesive on the back if you want to help hold this in place. You don't have to use a lot, just a little bit, side, middle, side. That would be more than enough to hold this in place, because if you need to ever take it out or remove it, you don't want to have to be trying to scrape away the adhesive that's on the foam. And that's pretty much all the hardware on a shadow box like this. These are pretty easy to make. A lot of people make them. It seems like they sell very well for most concealment people making this type of stuff. So we offer all the hardware here. We offer much more hardware than what I'm showing you here. We are lock experts. I know this hardware inside and out. You have application questions, you can contact me and we can go over any questions you might have.